Every winter in Japan, just as the cold seems to reach its deepest point, families across the country prepare for an unusual ritual. Roasted soya beans are poured into wooden boxes. Children don demon masks. Parents shout out at the top of their lungs. And for one night, homes, schools, and even temples become battlegrounds between humans and unseen spirits. This is Setsubun, one of Japan's most widely celebrated seasonal festivals, an event that blends folk belief, Buddhist cosmology, childhood memory, and the ever-present fear of the supernatural. My name is Kevin O'Shea, and today on Supernatural Japan, we'll explore the origins of Setsubun, how it's celebrated in homes and schools, the food rituals that define the day, and the deep supernatural roots behind this deceptively playful festival. What is Setsubun? Well, the word Setsubun literally means seasonal division. In ancient Japan, the year was divided not by months, but by transition, points where one season ended and another began. Over time, Setsubun became fixed to the moment just before Rishun, the beginning of spring on the traditional lunar calendar. This usually falls on February 3rd, though occasionally February 2nd. In traditional belief, seasonal boundaries were dangerous. They were times when the barrier between the human world and the spirit world weakened. And when that barrier thinned, evil spirits, oni, could slip through. Setsubun has roots in ancient Chinese court rituals, brought to Japan over 1,000 years ago. These rituals were designed to expel illness, bad luck, and malevolent spirits at the turn of the year. In Japan, these ideas merged with Buddhist and Shinto beliefs, transforming Setsubun into a ritual of purification. The oni of Setsubun are not just fairy tale monsters. Traditionally, they represent disease, natural disasters, misfortune, and human vices like greed, anger, and envy. In pre-modern Japan, epidemics and famine were often explained as a work of invisible forces. And driving out oni wasn't symbolic, it was survival magic. The most iconic Setsubun ritual is mamemaki, the throwing of beans. Families shout, "Oni wa soto, fuko wa uchi," demons out, fortune in. Roasted soya beans, fukumame, or fortune beans, are thrown out the front door, at windows, or directly at someone wearing an oni mask. And why beans, you may ask? Well, in Japanese, mame can mean both bean and to destroy evil. Roasting them was believed to remove spiritual impurity, ensuring the beans themselves wouldn't become vessels of evil. Some households still believe an unroasted bean left on the ground could sprout and bring misfortune with it. For many people in Japan, their strongest Setsubun memories come from kindergarten or elementary school. In classrooms across the country, children make colorful oni masks, paper horns, construction paper clubs. Then comes the moment they both fear and anticipate. A teacher, or sometimes a visiting parent, bursts into the classroom dressed as an oni. The reaction is immediate. Some children laugh, some children scream, some cry and cling to their teachers. Armed with paper cups of beans, the children shout in unison and throw with all their might, driving the oni out of the room. While it's playful, there's a deeper lesson to be taught. That bad behavior, selfishness, and anger, often called kokoro no oni, the demons of the heart, can be chased away through effort and cooperation. For many foreign parents in Japan, Setsubun at school is their first exposure to how seriously Japanese culture treats seasonal rituals, even for small children. Now, I have a very close connection to this personally. On more than one occasion, your host here, Kevin, when I worked at an early years education center in Japan, I donned the Oni costume, and I have to admit that I was personally responsible for making more than one child cry over the years. I also almost lost an eye a few times when kindergarten students were able to repel me with a perfectly placed mamemaki, soybean, through one of the eye holes of the Oni mask I was wearing. Definitely memories I will hold forever. Most families in Japan still observe Setsubun in some form, especially those with young children. Typically, one parent plays the Oni, another films the chaos, and children throw beans with absolute conviction. And this is exactly what happened in my own house year after year. In some households, fathers traditionally play the Oni, though this is changing. In others, a paper mask taped to a wall is enough to satisfy tradition. Some families quietly throw beans while shouting, especially in apartments where noise travels easily. Others visit local temples or shrines, where monks or even celebrities throw lucky beans to large crowds. And I've seen this on TV over the years in Tokyo and different places where there will be a large shrine or temple and you will see priests throwing beans as well as sumo wrestlers throwing beans and treats to the crowds. Now, even in modern Japan, Setsubun remains one of the most widely practiced seasonal customs. Now, this is a ritual that we have done every year since my own children were toddlers. And even now that they're teenagers and we've moved to many different countries, we still put on our Oni masks and take turns playing the role of Oni. Just this past December, while we were in Osaka for winter holiday, I purchased new Oni masks at a Daiso shop. My teenage son, now bigger than I am, was delighted to see that I decided to get them. Food plays a central role in Setsubun, and every dish is ritualized. The fukumame, or fortune beans. After the bean throwing, it's customary to eat the same number of beans as your age, sometimes plus one for the coming year. Unfortunately, that means I have to eat a lot of beans, folks. Luckily, they're tasty. Now, this is believed to ensure good health and longevity. Then there's the ehō-maki, the silent sushi roll. The most famous Setsubun food today is the ehō-maki, a thick, uncut sushi roll. And to eat it properly, you must face the year's lucky direction, or ehō. You must eat the entire roll in silence. Now, often people will change that to eating the first mouthful or first entire bite in silence. You make a wish internally. Breaking the roll, speaking or laughing is said to cut your luck in half. Now, the ingredients traditionally include 7 fillings, representing the 7 lucky gods. Now, while ehō-maki was once a regional custom in Kansai, it's now nationwide, thanks largely to convenience stores. Now, my wife is from the Kansai. That is where we lived in Japan, so we stick with that. Now, throughout Japan, you can buy ehō-maki at any supermarket and even in convenience stores on Setsubun Day. Now, we, as in my family, we don't have the luxury as a family of currently living in Japan. We live in China at the moment, so my Japanese wife takes the time to make ehō-maki from scratch every year. We even have an app on our iPhones that tells us which direction to face, the ehō, in order to take that all-important first bite of our sushi roll. There are certainly supernatural connections to this event, liminal nights and Oni. At its heart, Setsubun is a liminal ritual, one performed, at a moment when the world is believed to be spiritually unstable. In folklore, Oni are not just monsters. They're guardians of hell, punishers of the wicked, and manifestations of chaos. Some legends suggest Oni were once humans who fell to obsession or corruption. The act of shouting, throwing, and cleansing is a form of folk exorcism, scaled down to everyday life. And even today, some temples perform formal Setsubun ceremonies involving sutra chanting, fire rituals, and talismans designed to ward off illness and misfortune for the entire year. You may be asking, why does Setsubun still matter? Well, in a country known for its technology and modernity, Setsubun endures because it speaks of something universal: the fear of what we cannot see, the hope that we can protect our homes, and the belief that the future can be shaped by ritual, intention, and community. And for one night each year, Japan openly acknowledges the supernatural and invites it to leave. Thanks for listening to Supernatural Japan. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to help the show grow, please leave a review. Please rate the show and be sure to follow. It's so important, everyone. I know there are people who listen and enjoy it, but don't follow. So please do that. It helps a lot. To see photos of what Setsubun looks like, come on over and take a look at our Instagram at Supernatural Japan, as well as our awesome Facebook group. I'll share photos of our own family experiences and celebrations over the years with Setsubun. And I'll even show some amazing pictures of the delicious ehō-maki that my wife makes. The links are in the show notes. Now, please feel free to email me anytime you like with your thoughts, ideas, or questions about supernatural things in Japan, or simply to say hello. Some amazing people have been reaching out to me lately, and I really appreciate it. I love reading your emails. Send them my way at supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. That's going to be in the show notes as well. Now, you can also follow me, Kevin O'Shea, your host, over on Blue Sky and X at Mad for Maple. We have a Buy Me a Coffee where you can support the show and all of the creative work I do. And of course, check out my weekly diary-style podcast called Tales from Kevin. And that's got nothing to do with anything supernatural or spooky, but that's where I share my experiences as a Canadian living in Asia for 24 years now. And that's everywhere else, everywhere you find a podcast, where you find this podcast here. Now, everyone, thank you so much for listening to Supernatural Japan. And remember to share it with your spooky, history-loving friends. And that's it for now. So everyone, be careful. Be very careful. If you hear a pounding on your door on February the 3rd, it might just be an Oni.